Welcome back to the Only Points podcast, you guys. We got your host, Alexa Martinez. We got Eddie Mercado. We got Eddie Garcia. And you guys, special guest of the day, we got Howie. Now, Howie is a fellow friend of ours. He's an entrepreneur here in Las Vegas, and he does a lot of stuff. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, Howie, take it away, bro.
First of all, thanks for having me.
Of course.
I appreciate this. And this is really nice. I was just wondering, like, this mic, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Double check.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. But yeah, a little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur from Dallas, Texas. I got my start in real estate, and then I branched off into like small business investing. From there, I just coupled into e-commerce, and then next thing you know, I just kind of figured it out, kind of like, winged my way.
Nice. How old were you when you got into real estate?
I was 21. I got my license. So pretty much in college, my professor said there's going to be three things that you're going to like make the most money out of when it comes to commissions. It's going to be your car, it's going to be jewelry, and it's going to be real estate. And I was like, damn, that's a good idea.
What professor told you that?
It was my econ professor.
Oh, your
I forgot
econ
his
professor.
name. I totally forgot his name though. It's been a long time. But yeah, that was a pivotal moment. That was a core memory. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Well,
Yeah.
if you remember it after all these years, it definitely.
I wish I knew his name. That's the thing.
You just want to give credit where credit is due, huh?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Shout out, professor.
Awesome. So how long were you doing real estate? So you got into real estate at 21. You were a real estate agent. You're in Dallas, Texas, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you did that for how long? And that helped you do what?
So roughly 5 years. So at first I just did a lot of leases, and then I got really lucky because a lot of my friends are very supportive. So I will always like cherish and I'll always be grateful for everybody.
Damn.
But at first, like, it was just leases, going in what's it called, Lyft, passing out business cards, and then just getting leads.
Wow. So you were
Yeah.
doing Lyft. You're basically Ubering, and while every single time you did a ride, you're like, by the way, here you go, business card.
And then months and months later, I got my first sale, and then that kind of branched out, and that branched out, and that branched out. Pretty much, like, everybody just gave me a chance because I put myself out there. I just said, hey, like, if you need to look for a lease, you need to look for a house to buy, I got you. And then, like, whenever I, like, asserted myself, or when I put myself in a position to, like, sell a house, they were like, why should I let, you take on a responsibility? And I was like, because I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get it done. And I just put myself in, in their shoes and just treated them how I would want to be treated.
Nice. So what were your biggest accomplishments during those 5 years while you got in real estate? And then eventually what led you to transition out of real estate?
I didn't really have a life when I was doing real estate. Like, I just kept working. So eventually, I saved up. I did 8 flips on my own, and then I did a couple wholesale deals. Actually, did quite a few wholesale deals. I did one multifamily apartment flip. That was a really, really big check. I think that was probably my biggest. That was my biggest.
Do you
transaction.
mind disclosing how big, or like around what
I
number?
was gonna ask that.
Well, I mean, like, my commission was pretty decent. It's pretty decent.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't like like a 6-figure check, but it was very close.
Oh, nice. Okay.
close.
So in
Yeah.
the upper echelons right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. We had our broker, my boy Eric, he was my broker. So when I was shopping around, Coldwell Banker was charging like 40 points for like a broker's like split. And I was like, damn, every time I make a sale, every time I work, they're gonna take 40% of my check. And I was like, fuck this. So I shopped around. And then I landed at Aesthetic. So my boy Eric, he was the broker. He gave me the 85-15 split, which is like the best deal you can get. Like, that was a really good deal. I mean, it's not like a, like a 90-10, but like 15% of my check, like off the bat, like that's fine. I get to keep more and, just work with it. What was I gonna say? No, I mean, like, real estate is actually really fun because you actually get to meet like a lot of cool people.
Right.
Like a lot of cool people, a lot of real people. No one's gonna go, daisy chain you, waste your time, because, they come with the proof of funds. Like, they come to do business.
That's true.
Yeah, and if they lowball, I mean, at least they lowball with, like, an offer, like an actual submitted offer with proof of funds. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But actually, it was really fun. I kind of miss it.
Okay, so what led you to like? The whole I don't have a life was the thing that forced you to be like, you know what? Maybe I should start focusing on something else.
Well, at that time I was young, so I realized like I can use all my energy, like just be efficient and as focused as possible. So I'd set up like all my appointments. Like, at first I didn't know how to manage my time, manage everything. So like I would be doing appointments in 3 different cities a day, and I'd be like, fuck this. Let me just set it up for one city, put 3 clients in that day, and then just show and show and show. So basically I was like a glorified Uber driver. Like, basically I was just showing houses every day, 10 to 10 every day, writing contracts at night, and then just chilling. But like the cool thing is like meeting those new clients, making those new relationships, and like they're like friends. They're like your actual friends afterwards.
Well, I mean, you changed their life for the better.
Bro, I got them. Yeah, you get them a roof over their head, and then that's cool and all. But like the best.
Not just a roof; it's a roof that they actually like. Me personally, I couldn't live in a house or in an apartment that I wouldn't feel comfortable in. You know what I mean? So it's not that obviously you're paid for your task, but every day that this person that you assisted with getting them a place to live in, they almost owe you a thank you every day. You know, like, oh, you know what? Thank you, Howie. And that's literally how I feel. Where like any spot I'm living at, I'm like, damn, thank you for like, allowing me to stay here tonight.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So that was real estate. When was the last time you had a real estate deal?
Roughly January. So my friend.
Of this year?
Yeah, this year. So my friend had 5 properties he needed sold. He didn't want to go the listing route, and then he wanted. So I figured the best way to do was a sub 2 route. Mm-hmm. Sub 2 is subject to. So when you subject to a property, you're pretty much assigning that note over to a new buyer. So basically, he got grandfathered in at 3, roughly like all 5 houses. He had one house that was like 2.8% interest, and then another one that was like all between 2 and like 6% roughly in interest, which is way better than today's rate. But pretty much you are just assigning over yesterday's rates to the new buyer. So they're going to take over your payments, and they're going to pretty much cover your note for you. The thing is, whenever you're on a sub 2 note, you're actually joined at the hip. So for the next 10 years or so, or the 25 years until they pay off the note, they have to be on the same account. They have to be under the same trust. It's a lot of paperwork, but like it's a whole lot of.
Yeah, so if I want to do subject to, because that's creative financing is probably one of the best ways to go right now, especially for real estate.
Yes.
Eddie Mercado and myself are considering getting property, especially here in Las Vegas. So as a real estate agent, if we want to do creative financing, whether it's seller finance or subject to, what do you recommend? Like, what do we need in order to make that happen? Because I'm pretty sure not everybody who owns a mortgage is like, yeah, let me just give it to the first person that walks through the door right now, right? What are the qualifications that somebody needs in order to get seller or subject to financing?
Oh, so subject to financing is creative financing. It's going to be pretty much like a seller wrap note. So you're not going to go through a bank. You don't need to get a credit check or anything, but you're going to have to come up with some funds or some type of deal. So if somebody, for example, has like $100,000 in like, I don't know, like $100,000 on their note, say they bought the house for 200 and they paid off 100, but they can't keep making up the payments. They can't keep paying the payments, but they still have really good interest. So instead of, them going and getting foreclosed on, they can find somebody to take over their note and then pay them an entry fee, which is pretty much like liquidating them or buying them out of their position. Say they have $100,000 in equity on the house. You don't have to buy the $100,000. You can actually work that out. Say for a convenience fee, you can bring it down to like 50, 60K. You got a $40,000 spread right there. Right off the bat, you got your 40. Like say you buy in for $60,000 on that house.
Okay.
You already made 40
So
grand.
you own a house, and I'll be like, hey, let's say this scenario, it's a $200,000 house. There's $100,000 worth of equity and $100,000 worth of debt, and I tell you, I'll give you $50K to buy the house. You go away, and I basically take over the mortgage, which technically at the end of the day is going to cost me $150,000 to buy the house, because I take over the debt, the $100K debt plus the $50K, but then I can take like a equity line of credit and then take out the debt off the house and pay myself back. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, and right off the bat, right in that second, you already made 50 grand on the spread right then and there.
That is,
they forfeit that equity.
Right, correct.
So what you actually explained or said is taking it a step further, just to recover your initial cost.
Correct.
Which is I don't think you guys caught that. It took me a little while to understand that, but when it does come down to creative financing, I mean, that is literally the best way to go. And I've literally always told my people this. I can only afford to buy a house right now through creative financing. I don't want anybody touching my credit. I don't want anybody running my taxes, none of that. And it's actually kind of crazy because I'm not going to say like growing up, but growing up, I would just like watch movies, and my goal was always to take a nugget. Here's like that crazy connection. If you guys want to like just understand like a small part of like kind of like what this means, probably go out and watch the movie We Are Friends. Zac Efron is one of the main characters. It's actually kind of crazy.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen it?
No.
You guys are going to be like, what the hell does this movie have to do with creative financing?
Yeah.
If you pay attention, you'll understand.
Okay.
Because that's what I obviously don't remember what Zac Efron's like, what do you call it? What his main gig was him being a DJ. His side gig was looking for leads for this guy. And he knew it wasn't up until some family was actually getting foreclosed on. And the house was like a multi-million-dollar house. I think they only cut the family like $25,000. So before they got foreclosed on, the actual owner of the company is like, oh, I'll give you $25,000 and you sign over the house. You have two choices. I can give you the $25,000 and I took over the loan, or you get foreclosed on and you get nothing. And then obviously like Zach is like, wait, that's so messed up.
That sounds like a wholesale deal.
Yeah,
I think they got ripped. Yeah.
This is a massive house. Like, how couldn't you do that to these people? And then of course the owner of the company goes, oh well, you're about to cut a massive commission if this deal goes through. And of course he kept his mouth shut. It's kind of crazy. So that's that. I mean, just obviously like watch the movie. So you're done with Are you done with real estate, or
I'll dabble in deals here and there.
That's
so
good.
Actually, so yeah, in case, okay, so Eddie and I want to buy property here in Vegas. What do we need? What do we need to do in order to make this happen?
Depends on what route you want to take. I personally don't think that the current conventional rates are worth it.
because they are how much right now?
They're between 7 and 8, and at 7 and
Good
8
Lord.
Damn.
on a 30-year note, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Because
Well,
all
I mean,
you're
it
doing
wouldn't
is
take
paying
us 30 years to pay off that house. I can promise you that much. If it takes us
but
10 years to pay off the house,
the interest alone is like pricing you out of like the rental rates. So like most houses, they're typically, you want to rent them at 1% roll.
wait. Say that again.
So most houses, if you're like,
About the interest.
so the interest is way too high. Like it's way too high. Like basically,
What did you say? It's cheating you out of what?
the rental rates, the current rental market. So basically,
That's
whenever
insane.
you buy a house, at this rate, you're paying more for that payment on that mortgage than you would for like a rental like 5 years ago. So basically, because the rentals 5 years ago were like 3-4%, and you're not paying $1,200, $1,500, $1,700 in interest. That's just interest. That's just interest. If you're having such a high interest note and you're paying every month, you're not even going to break even as an investment property.
Yeah.
So what that means, guys, is before people used to buy, single family homes to rent them out, you're paying so much in interest that it's not even worth it to buy single home houses because the interest is so high that you're almost breaking even. Essentially, you just own the house and it's just paying itself off. Whereas before, you used to be able to buy a house, rent it out to a family, and you used to, obviously with the rent money, you used to be able to make the payment and then make some on the side as well. And now, because the interest rates are so high, you can't even afford to do that anymore. That's insane. But do you remember, and this is gonna blow some of your guys' minds, do you remember the interest rates or what the interest rates were during COVID?
Yeah, they were the
remember.
lowest, 0.
0%. 0%. That means if you had balls to grab the bull by the horns,
You could have
actually get approved for the loan, your interest rate was 0%. That's crazy.
That's robbery right there, man.
That
I had a friend refinance their note. They got 2.87 during COVID, but they did a 40-year note. And that was with Wells Fargo.
A 40-year note?
40-year on 2.87%.
Nice.
that's great.
But
That's
I
really,
mean,
really good.
Payment was really
And
low.
that's compared to like what? That is. I wonder if we can do the math. I mean, probably not off the top of our head, but like how much interest they would pay in 40 years versus somebody paying 7% at the moment right now. Do you know what I mean?
So 200K.
Not that a house is 200K right now. Not even an apartment is 200K out here in Las Vegas. Not even
No.
away from the strip. You know what I mean?
7,
But this
Not
is
even
just
in the slums.
14,000.
not even in the slumps. Nah. At that point, it's not even worth it.
No.
Stay
So
where
that's
you're
at the
at.
current 7.
Right.
That's just interest.
That's
that's
$1,166 in interest.
That's just interest, by the
Yeah.
way. And then if you do the same thing at 0.0287,
5,740.
that's
No.
the interest per month.
Yeah, so
See
for
the
say it
difference?
goes like way less.
Huh? That's
It's like
less
less
than
than
half.
50%. Like
Less than half.
significantly
You're looking at
less.
46, 47%. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So
Significantly less.
we got the money. We got the credit to make it happen.
Facts.
Subject to. So what are our next steps? What do we need to be looking out for? How do we start and to look for properties that I want to do subject to?
Just bird dogging for listings. People are usually gonna like. It's
Isn't
not like
bird dogging illegal?
No, not really.
What does that mean?
Bird dogging means so when you're paying people
To like look for houses.
for look for houses.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I get
fine.
phone calls all the time. I
Huh?
literally get phone calls all the time.
I thought there, depending on the city or the state, bird dogging was considered illegal or some shit like that.
To my understanding, I don't think it is. I think it's a service. I don't think it's. What's it called?
Bird dogging.
Yeah. No, to my understanding, I think it's fine.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, to get a house, you're going to have to look for a deal. So whenever you find a deal, I mean, like, the market is so hot right now, you just got to jump on it.
All right.
So, like, if you were
That
to...
is facts. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's not like, it's not
Yeah.
like a house on MLS where they're
Mm.
listed day in and day out. It's
Mm.
just like once in a while you'll see a deal, and then if you see the deal and if it's worth it for you...
Yeah. How? Okay. So what if we actively want to be doing this? Look. So I will actively, let's say, I want to be able to buy a house by the end of the year, and it would be amazing to do it subject to, right?
Yeah.
And we can pull the money together to make it happen.
Yeah.
If
The money's
especially-
not the issue.
Yeah, and then we can like, if the money can, I mean, we can pull up the money together from ourselves, our credit, or investors, and then we can potentially be able to refi or not refi, but we can put the equity line and just pay ourselves back, or however the process goes, right? Is that the most efficient way, like an equity line on the house, or is it a refi, or how does it actually work? Because I know that
Well, you have to be under the trust. So usually when you buy a sub-2 house, you're going to have to go through a land trust or an irrevocable land trust deed. So pretty much it's like another entity that you have to set up.
mhm.
And you guys both have to be the trustees or the beneficiaries.
Okay.
So you and the seller have to be joined by the hip in that one entity until the end of the note or until the note's paid off, because you're going to have to share that same mortgage account.
Yeah.
Um,
Now here's the thing, how much does it cost to set that up? Because setting up a trust is expensive, isn't it?
yeah, it
I
can
heard
be.
the cheapest one is like
Yeah.
3,000 to 5,000.
It's going to cost some money, but I mean, if you have the title company do it, I think they can net it out of the closing costs.
Oh.
Around okay, so for the deal that you did earlier in January, how much was it?
It was 1.125. That's for 5 properties. They got to take over the notes, but the thing is, that's what the deal ended up being. But the down was 200, so the entry fee was 200, 20%. Pretty much a little less than 200 for the entry fee, and they get 5 properties. The cash flowing on the properties was roughly 8750, almost $9,000. And then on top of PITI, they were probably like profiting 2,400, 2,500 before net operating.
Yeah, net operating
Net
cost.
operating costs. But that spread of 2,500 a month was before having to take on other responsibilities. Like that's actually pretty decent.
That's good,
It's
and
very,
especially
very
if there's long-term rentals.
Yeah, there's 25 years left on them. One of them has 30 years because he refinanced to the 40-year note on 2.87 at Wells Fargo.
Okay, so even though you become so even after subject to, you could refinance it with a bank, because I thought there was issues when you because I know like you don't have the title, but you take over the mortgage. How does that, or you do get the title, right? Or how does it exactly work?
Could be a quitclaim deed. Usually it's a quitclaim deed, but it's not like a real deed, or it's not like you don't have full access to the house. I mean, you're still going to have to make the payments, but in that trust, it's the thing. Like if you're going to pull equity against that house on the trust, I think even if you pull the money against it at today's rates, you're still in at 7%. What's the point? The point is to get the edge, the advantage. So if you're getting when you sub 2, you get yesterday's rates, 3.25, 4%.
That's true. However, like if you want to be able to take your equity out,
If you were to take the equity out, you would still get today's rates on it.
yeah.
It would
So
defeat the
you would just
purpose.
have to determine whether are you
If it's
willing to
worth
pay
it.
today's rates to take the equity out, or yes or no, basically.
If the risk is worth it, if you have a better opportunity that can cash flow you harder, I would do it. Like say if you're in like a hedged investment, like a Pam's gold trader, an automated trader or something, bringing back 17%, That
Right.
beats your
Because
7%.
because I would if I was that, like, I would do exactly what he did. I would refinance, take my money out, and then buy another 5 properties, right? Even though I'm not getting the best interest rate, but I will have more properties under my name.
Yeah, the last thing you want is to be coming out of pocket or even breaking even. Breaking even is like all right.
Yeah. But as long as the numbers make sense, then
Yeah.
I'll take my money back out and pay off the investors or my credit cards or whatever is where I got the money from.
In essence, guys, it doesn't matter what the interest rate is, as long as the money, as long as the numbers look right. Interest rates only scare people that don't know how to cash flow. Remember that, you know.
Right. So so you and I, the three of us, are going to be having a very interesting talk after this podcast. Basically, that's what we're saying.
Interest rates, it can be. I mean, let's be a little.
You just got to make sure
excessive.
that you're in the green the whole time. It's kind of easy to get in the red if you're making the payments and they're always, you're always going to dip below the line.
I think the only time you'd be in the red is if like a pipe bursts or there's a leak in the roof or.
Those are costs you have to account for as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
No, I actually think question.
Property tax,
So I know.
PITI.
So one of the benefits that I've heard from like Pace Morby or people that do subject to is that, like, hey bro, I'll take over your lease, so your mortgage, so your credit score is going to go up because I'm going to be making these on-time payments. Yeah. What happens if he by accident the bank doesn't clear it, just like the auto payment, he changed his debit card and then the auto payment doesn't go through? You know when those issues sometimes happens with the banks, what happens as soon as the other person gets a late payment? Because it doesn't affect the person. It wouldn't affect my credit because it's under it's your mortgage, isn't it? So I wouldn't get the late payment. You would get the late payment. So how would that affect everything?
Usually they would have like what's it called? The lump sum can take care of like a month or two. Like if their credit really, really, really mattered to them like that, right? Say they're in the house and then they're like, your responsibility, the seller, the new buyer's responsibility is to take care of the payment.
Correct.
But he missed the payment.
Correct.
That payment, that entry fee that you got, he would be able to take it and get reimbursed later. So he would use his $50,000, for example, pay that if he wants, and then get reimbursed after.
So
Things
somebody
like
still has to make the payment, whether it's you or someone else, so long as they're attached to the home.
Yeah, and if he keeps on missing the payments, then you can just kick him off the trust if it's written in the contract.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So
you foreclose on him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I was going to say that I'm thinking that the contract has some sort of clause, like, hey, as soon as you make a late payment, you're fucking booted out of here.
It wouldn't be like one late payment, but it would be
like 3 consecutive.
Yeah. So we do say that contracts protect both parties.
Absolutely, because the last thing you want is, imagine like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take over your mortgage, and then just as soon as I get that title, I'm like, yep, good luck
paying off
with the
house.
bank. Yeah, but how about this? As soon as you refinance, doesn't that take care of the first mortgage, so then the person can get out?
To refinance, well, yeah, if you're gonna refinance.
Oh yeah, but it's only if you refinance, you can just.
I think you should be able to fully own it,
and then you fully own it.
It would make sense. I don't know. This isn't my area of expertise. We're asking the questions.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Yeah. Huh? Good question.
Have you ever?
No, I haven't dealt with that. That's the
no.
thing. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because think about it. When you okay, when you own when you own a home and it has a mortgage, and then you go to another bank and refinance it, and you ask them for a mortgage, the second mortgage covers the first mortgage, so the first bank is done. Like they got paid, they're done with it, right? Wouldn't that same apply when you take a subject to? Then, so you have this mortgage, you take out a new mortgage, you go to the bank, hey, I have this house, I owe 100K, but it's 100K in equity as well. Give me 150K because I put 50K down, like you said, and then I go ahead and pay. Hey, buddy, here's your 100K, right? To pay it off, pay off that first note, and then now you own the house free and clear with that bank. So now they can transfer the title completely to you. But then you transfer the title back to the other bank.
That's like buying an MLS house with extra steps. Because the point of the subject to transaction is to pretty much cash flow in a more efficient way. If you're getting yesterday's rates, you're beating today's rates in the market.
Well, here's the other benefits. The other benefits is the fact that you're buying a house that has debt on it, and then you're also you're taking over. You're doing it in a way where you could pay less for the property. Does that make sense? Because if they put the house on sale on the MLS, you're gonna have to pay the full price of it, and you can get away with paying less than that. Does that make sense? I would only have to pay way less money.
You were splitting the difference. I mean, instead of pulling
Yeah.
a loan against 80% of the property, for example, you're pulling against 50. I get it, but essentially, like if you're okay, so basically, when you're buying that house on MLS for like for example today, it's gonna cost what 7 points on interest, and then if you're buying that same house, but with 3 years ago, 5 years ago interest, that would be at 3. You are saving that much more. It's mostly for like landlords. It's mostly for people looking to hold rentals. Sub 2 is mostly for people doing rentals. If you're doing flips, there should be enough spread to where you can go in and out of a house. 30% is the average go-to when you're into a flip. But if you're arbitraging the 7% and 3%, that's where the money's made in the sub 2 deal. So that's the only reason why it's like.
Yeah.
Like
okay. So it just goes back to, as long as the numbers make sense, go for it. But those are the benefits. The benefits is that subject to is that you can pay for the property less because you can give them, because I've heard, like, for example, hey, like I can ask you have this property, you can't pay for it anymore. How much do you need in order to move to a new place? Oh, I just need $20K to fly back to this and get this started. Perfect. Here, what if I give you 25K and then I take over your mortgage?
You gotta
Beautiful. So you're technically only buying a house for 25K. That's really fucking awesome. And then you're also getting whatever interest rate they had when they got the mortgage.
When you rent it out, you can rent it out. Your PITI is much lower than today's rate. So say the house is $500K and you get it with the PITI, which is like the current mortgage
Right.
monthly payment, at roughly like $3,500. Then you would have a spread, because if you got it at a different rate, that could be like a $5K payment, and you would be out $1,500 per month every month if you were to get it at today's rate. That's where the rental is. It's basically it's held as a rental. Most people like to do sub 2 deals to like add to their portfolio long term.
Right. No, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking, because my very first properties that I want to buy is all rental, or get a nice property. And to be honest with you, I want to be able to do this. I want to buy a property for my parents, and move them to a nicer place and rent out the where they're currently living right now.
Do they have any debt on that current house?
Yes, they do. But there's a good amount of spread, I believe. Okay. Like $200K available, I believe. Obviously depending on the appraisal and shit. But about that. So I'm trying to see. I'm trying to help them out. However, on paper, they don't make enough money. Does that make sense to qualify? And then the one making the money is my business. So as long as the real estate or the loan officer can take a look at my business, right, and they see that all the money generating, and then they can take into account that we're gonna get someone to rent out the place, that'd be amazing. The other thing is that would that work? How would that work? If that wouldn't even matter, because it wouldn't matter if I'm doing a subject to, though, right? Because no income is necessary, no credit is necessary.
No, it's a creative finance deal. It's technically like a seller finance deal. You can get really creative with it too. Instead of putting down, like, for example, 20, 50K, they can do seller reps or like seller carry. So the seller can do basically, instead of just paying him 20 grand down and paying him 5K a month, you can be like, hey, can I put 5K down and then just bump up my payments? Or we can keep the same payments as long as we do a balloon at the end. Balloon means you can...
Yeah, it blows up at the end, and you pay the rest sum after 5 years, 3 years, whatever.
Yeah, you pay the lump sum after.
Yeah.
But like you can get really creative with seller financing, or like just because there's so many routes. Say somebody has, you can do like lease backs, you can do kickbacks, you can even rebate them a few months here and there. But like the balance still, it gets rolled in. It's just like I think like when it comes to like seller like creative financing, like Pace Morby does have it down. I was in his group. I was just reading day in and day out, like on his YouTube channel and on his Facebook group, and they have like people going there and posting real deals, like real deals, and these deals are actually worth it. And these people like snag them really quickly, like within like a day or two, people are buying 500K houses. And I'm like, damn. These move faster than like Ferraris. Like these deals move faster than they move quick.
Right. Yeah. So I bet. So like
So there is money out there.
So
There's
you
plenty of
just
money
got
out
to
there.
be on top of it. So join all those subject to Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Join the community, get immersed, and then take action, massive action. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bro, you should open for Mo.
Okay. Yeah.
And then awesome, but dude, that's a fountain amount of knowledge. So okay, real estate, we got that covered. Now you got out of real estate after
So,
you
yeah.
went into e-commerce. Is that correct?
No, I got a real estate. So when I was doing real estate, I got into commercial real estate. When you do commercial, like towards probably the third or fourth year, whenever you do commercial leases, like people are getting nail salons, people are getting restaurants and stuff.
Right.
When I was showing the properties, I would get first dibs if they offer me an opportunity. My friend Jason hit me up like while we were looking at a bar in Deep Ellum. He was short on funding for the build out, so he hit me up asking if I wanted an equity stake, and then it was just I rolled in my commission, I rolled in the check on top, and I got like a small percentage of the bar. But the thing is, like, that's my way into angel investing. I didn't know what I was doing. I really didn't. Only thing that sold me was the perks. Free Korean food, free soju, free.
I love your priorities, bro.
Bro, just think about it. I was 23, 24 at the time, and like I wasn't thinking about like I thought if all else fails and if I lose money on this, I didn't think I was gonna lose money. But if I were to lose money, at least I got free soju, free chicken wings, like
Free food for life.
free food.
Free food, I love it.
No, the perks made sense for me. So that's most of my investment thesis. If like you don't throw monies into investments, hoping to shoot for the moon all the time. You're supposed to make calculated decisions. And I ran the comps. I looked at a TABC, which is TABC is Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission. So
Right.
they post all their alcohol numbers by the bar, like throughout the zip codes. So you can look and see what comparable businesses will be generating per month, like every month. So like we made the comps ahead of time, 6 months in advance. We're like, maybe this is gonna hit. Maybe it should hit. So we're like, all right, it makes sense. So before he even dug deep and then went and built the bar, built all those businesses, like he had to like really do some research.
Market research.
And plus, I was able to trust him because like I saw his work, like I saw like, it's more of that. If it was like his first time at a bar, it would be kind of hard to like
I feel like,
Justify it. And,
I feel
yeah.
like you succeeded because you bet on yourself.
I bet on them. I'm very grateful for my friends.
Gotcha.
I'm very
So-
grateful for the soju and the chicken.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know. I remember when we first met, you were showing us all the highlights of the club
The
and
clubs and all that
the
stuff,
bar,
Bro.
which it's like, dude, you should definitely do that again. That's amazing.
I know.
But
'Cause there is real money in clubs. It's
the thing is,
so
it
high
gets-
margins, such high
yeah,
margins.
Yeah, but the club life is mentally draining.
It can be. It depends. I mean, like it does take some thick skin to
toll.
go through with it, but I feel like it's kind of worth it. I feel like it's worth
Okay,
it. Huh?
there you go. That's a
Yeah.
good rebuttal.
I guess, yeah, especially you were young, man. You had all the energy. You're young. I'm pretty sure maybe once you're like 35, 45, maybe it's something like, it's not where I want to be every single day grinding it out because there's alcohol involved. There's drunk people involved. There's so much chaos. The security guards are taking care of drunk people. Like you're getting like, and it's just probably not the best environment when you're especially older and you probably want to be consistent, right? Imagine trying to be drinking and partying every single night. It's probably not going to be the best thing for your health long term. But yes, I do believe that restaurants and clubs and bars are a great source of income. However, you got to be so careful because one of the biggest costs for a restaurant and bars is F&L, right? Food and labor. And that margin is extremely high. I know that because I also used to own a restaurant and used to manage multiple restaurants. And F&L was always like at 50 to 55%. So 50 to 55% of gross revenue, boom, right there, all gone. And so do you remember your numbers of the restaurant? And how long had you guys had that open?
All right. So for the restaurant, my boy James, he's an old friend of mine. He hit me up with that deal. So I known him because he used to do insurance, and then like he did rentals with my friend Kevin. So we're just in that circle from like Arlington. But he hit me up because he saw me with the laundromat and he saw me with the bar. So it was like, hey, can you check out this restaurant? And I was like, all right, what is it? What restaurant is this? Dancing Sa. So it's one of the oldest restaurants like in Dallas. Like it's a Korean restaurant. It's not a Korean barbecue all you can eat restaurant. It's a la carte, but it's like it's a staple. People like go in there and put Sharpies on the walls, Sharpies on the tables. It's just a fun like dim like a dim lighting type of place, but it's really like the environment. So instead of going the route of like starting a restaurant from scratch, putting all that money into marketing, making like trying to make a name for it, like we took over the restaurant from someone who was trying to retire. So Q, he had 2 locations, the Carrollton one, the Dallas one, and he has a Soju 101 next door. Next door to the Dallas Dancing Stud. That one, upon like before even like considering numbers, I thought to myself, what's the perks? Korean food, kimchi pancakes, bulgogi.
Priorities again.
Bulgogi,
I love them.
Soju.
Do they have hash browns?
No, I don't have hash browns.
No?
No.
Hash
But-
browns
but,
kind
like,
of-
we have-
I wouldn't go
Dude,
there.
come on.
No, we had the takoyaki. Like it was just like the menu was.
I need to go. Where's this restaurant
It's
at?
in Dallas. It's on 11407 Emerald
Does the airport
Yeah.
have a Centurion Lounge?
in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think Dallas does, yeah.
All right, we're going.
Your fifth office.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Priorities, of course.
God damn, bro.
But like luckily that restaurant was already popping. It's just we were in a really really good spot. Q was trying to retire. We were able to haggle a deal. It was seller finance, 0% interest. We just had to make sure to run it right, and then we broke even, and we even lost money for like a few months at first, and then we were like, all right, like how do we wing this? How do we change it up? So we joined a few Facebook groups. It's called DFW Dub and Grub and Dub. So it's like a foodie connoisseur group in Dallas. So we post in there pretty regularly of pictures and stuff, and like that's how we garnered a few extra like groups of people.
Yeah, a bit of attention to people that wanted to go check it out.
We offered free delivery for up to 20 miles.
Wow.
We did everything we could. We literally.
Bro, 20 miles is a distance.
I know it's
20 miles.
We went to
But
like
it's also
Allen.
Texas.
We went to Allen. We went to Fort Worth. Pretty much just like a 30-minute drive. Yeah.
So Texas actually has much cheaper gas.
Significantly, it's like $3 a gallon, something like that. Not
But
even.
I will go as far as to say that food is food everywhere. You know, if
No, Dallas has really good tacos. I don't know if y'all have tried Dallas tacos yet, but like it's.
I don't think we've been to Dallas, period.
I haven't been
been
to
to
Dallas
Dallas.
either,
You
man.
have?
I have,
Bro,
yeah.
no?
But I don't think I've tried their tacos. I wouldn't know.
It's pretty good.
I
The
wouldn't-
barbacoa there is.
Well, I mean, Texas is pretty Hispanic dominant.
Yeah, but it's also more Tex-Mex, no?
I would agree. You know, we just had Chipotle this morning for our first meal, so
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so how long have
DJs.
you had the restaurant for now?
2018.
Since 2018.
2018. is
6-7 years.
5 years.
What were the numbers that you guys were doing per week when you guys got the restaurant, and then what is it doing now?
So basically, we're floating. So we're grossing, not netting. We're grossing around 30. But at first, we were like really loose with the funds. We didn't like know how to allocate it. We bought too much. What's it called? Like we bought too many ingredients sometimes. We just kind of like winged
Yeah.
it. We didn't really like have like a set plan at first. We were just winging it. And then towards the first year, we really figured to like strap down and be like more strategic. So instead of getting like 30 different ingredients, we got like 5 ingredients that can be used for 30 dishes.
Nice.
And then we figured out what was our best selling dishes, and we pretty much catered to that.
That's
Our,
key.
our soju, we went to Danny's Liquor, so we had to go like get better pricing for the soju, but we were able to charge, I think it was around $14. It was buy two get one free, but I mean like that brought people in. That brought a lot of people in. Buy two get one free. No one really does it over here in Vegas. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Vegas is gonna have clientele regardless.
That's true. I mean, like the numbers. No. At one point, we were at like 70-ish K a month, but that's gross. But then again, we had to spend like a lot to like maintain that. But that's like literally maintaining the restaurant. Breaking even is roughly 20K a month. That's to break even. That's after food costs. That's after rent. That's after what's it called? 3 chefs or cooks, and then
So that's
4
after
servers.
food,
That's 4
labor.
servers and one manager, one full-time manager. That's
Wait, hold up. You're telling me. Wait, hold up. You're telling me food and labor plus utilities. It's you're netting how much? Okay, so gross is how much, and then
Gross was roughly 30, and at first we were having trouble.
30,000?
Gross.
Yeah, 30 a month.
Yeah, but like roughly we were like roughly we were spending really shitty. We just didn't know.
No,
what we were
yeah,
doing.
but now,
So
now
it was,
how
it was
is it?
20. So at first
Mm-hmm.
it would cost us 20 a month every month just to like run it. So we barely have like
10K.
yeah, and that's the split between all of us, me, James, Kevin, all the partners. pretty
Right.
much, okay, and then over time we pretty much furthered the gap.
Okay. And so how much is it doing now in a month?
Roughly, I think this month was like 42 grand.
42
But I mean,
grand?
but like sometimes it'll like the best months are 70. The best months are 70.
Nice. So let's say 70 at the highest. And then so now, but your F&L, your utilities, and everything else is about 20K in expenses?
That was at first because we didn't really know what we were doing. But now our expenses are roughly around 12, 13K. 12, 13K.
Wow. So even though you
We-
guys got busier, your labor didn't go up with it?
No, because we made sure to no. So we cut down. So instead of having 4 servers a night, we're like, this is dumb. Monday, Tuesday, like Monday to Thursday, it's usually kind of like mid. So we'll have 2 servers. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll have 3 or 4. But instead of having too many, too much labor at the same time, we just kind of like cut it down. We boosted the alcohol sales. That's how we got lucky. We pretty much did a 2-for-1 or the buy 2 get 1 free. That was
Yep.
one of the things that actually like spread the margin. After we introduced that, we started getting more customers in. We did a few other things, but it kind of winged it.
Nice. Nice. That's amazing, dude. I love the restaurant business because I have so many years of experience with it. And I did really, really good and well on managing the ones that I was running. I would love to go check out your place whenever I go
Dude,
to
come
Dallas.
through. I think I'm gonna go in July 4th. I think I'll be there.
July 4th. I can't
Yeah.
go that day, but I'll probably go afterwards.
I
Definitely.
miss
Sick.
my
This
dog.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you also did restaurants. So you did first real estate, then restaurants. So talk to us about e-com.
E-commerce was fun. So basically, a long time ago, my friend Sean Vega hit me up with a dropshipping model. It was new to me, but it was very similar to like a convenience store model. Not convenience store model. It's I thought of it as like an online 7-Eleven. That's what I thought of it as. The way he explained it, he was with the dropshippers. So these guys, they did really well. They actually like paid for like Jake and Tana's wedding or something at one point. So I was like, this guy's getting attention. He's doing good. Maybe I'm gonna give him a shot. The dropshipping model at that time, 2018, was like, was worth
It was
it.
huge. It
Starting
was
to pop
massive.
off.
Yeah.
Huh? It was worth it. The stores are usually 30K, but he hooked it up for 20K for me. He had me a set of VAs. They just put my card on file and just ran it up. And I did a lot of auditing. I mean, I was still up. It's just like, at first I had to like navigate what is dropshipping, how do I stay on top of the cards, how do I stay on top of my credit lines? Because back in 2018, I didn't know these sales were very slow for the first 2 months. Like the first sale took probably like 3 weeks before the first sale came in. And then next thing you know, a couple of weeks later, a couple here, a couple there, and then boom, like all these like random like objects too. These VAs put the most random shit in my store.
Yeah.
It'll be between toilet paper, it'd be between bird seed, it'd be between what's it called, Kleenex, what's it called, remote control condoms. It's like pretty much like a suit for your remote controls, like random stuff. And I was like, all right, how is it selling so much? And then I was like, all right, like this is actually pretty dope. Like this is something.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't have to be there in person. I didn't have to go fill any orders. I didn't have to, like whip up any bulgogi or anything. Like I just,
There was no perks in the bulgogi and stuff, though.
yeah.
Right?
No, there wasn't any perks. Yeah. But I mean, it was dope. I was like, damn, this is quick. This is a dope model. And then dropshippers they had a following, so I went and got my own VAs, and like dropshipping wave was dope. Like I missed it. I actually
Yeah,
do. I
of
do
course.
miss it. Like,
So
why did
do I.
Amazon pull the plug on us? Like, what's that? Like, what is that?
Because if it would be too easy, everybody would be wealthy. Everybody would be driving a Lambo right now like it's nothing.
They're missing out on revenue right now because of that. Imagine
Yeah.
if they didn't Section 3 everybody and they just let everybody keep drop shipping. 15-25% of every sale still adds up. It still adds up.
Yeah, I was when I was drop shipping, I was hitting huge numbers, and yes, I did admit to drop shipping back in the day. Not now.
Walmart dropshipping.
Well, no, you can still
smacked,
dropship
though.
now, but you just can't.
Walmart-
Back in the
dropship on-
day.
Not even back in the day. This was like 2.5 years ago, bro.
That's what I'm saying. 2 years
I got my
ago.
Walmart,
Back in the day.
Walmart store.
That's
yeah.
back in the day. Yep.
Yeah.
I got
What,
Walmart.
2.5 years ago was
Man.
back in the day?
We entrepreneurs move
Bro,
fast.
yeah, of course. That was like
That's back
10
in the day,
businesses
man.
ago. no,
That
bro.
was 9 failed businesses ago. That's when we're succeeding.
I mean, dropshipping still works, but you just got to put in more effort. It's kind of like brand building. You got to
Yeah,
go
but
get
that's
your.
not worth it at that point.
It is not worth it.
It
yeah.
can be.
Yeah.
It can be. You
It
get,
can be
you get a
100%,
winning.
but you would have to be for every. So what are your fucking margins going to be? 10%? You know what I mean? Like
If you
for
market it right.
essentially, yeah. But to me, it's like I need some water too because
I don't like the risk either.
Say you get a winning product, you run a few ads on it, you get the page popping, and you run the Shopify site up.
Thanks, Papas.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know.
It's not
Like,
the same
because
as
it
Amazon,
isn't
yeah.
it go against Walmart's and Amazon's terms of
Terms.
service?
Yeah.
Because here's my idea. Whether it's profitable or not, if it's against the rules, like it's not going to be long term. And one of the most fundamental things about doing a business is that you must see longevity in it. All right, unless you're
Oh,
solving
yeah,
like a
you're
really
right.
good problem. Like for example, Eddie and I were discussing about solving the homeless crisis. Like if you actually run a successful business and campaign to fix homelessness, well, your job is to end your industry, right? Which there should be a clear like goal. But like with running an e-commerce store, your goal should not be like, well, let's just do it until we get fucking like our asses kicked, you know? I'm not going to be wasting my time in building a business that is going to be swept under my feet at any moment, right? So I think
It's
yeah,
a
the
trend.
model was great. It was a quick hype. Amazon and Walmart caught up to it, and unfortunately, yeah, you know what, they deemed that it was not what they wanted to do. That it was, I'm guessing it was just not beneficial for the client, right? Is that what's going on?
I actually had no idea because I didn't see any down.
It was just intellectual property complaints, and too many people were reporting things as
Dropships?
as that they never like showed up, and sometimes sometimes Walmart
fulfillment
had to
issues.
come out of pocket. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, you guys gotta understand. I'm transparent. I have been that asshole that orders something on Amazon and says, "Oh well, I never returned. I never received it."
That's true.
And it's like, oh well, the buyer is the one that the seller is actually the one that loses the money. Sometimes Amazon covers it, and when you're selling Amazon stuff on Walmart and vice versa, stuff that you source from Walmart to sell on Amazon, nobody wants to work with their competitors. You know, nobody wants to do that. It's like working with your favorite enemy. Nobody wants to do that. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
I do miss it though. No
So
lie, that was
everybody
such
does, bro. Like, it was a beautiful model, and there was money, a shit ton of points. I mean, I was traveling.
Big time.
I was
Yo.
traveling like crazy. We were traveling like crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'd have all so. I
You
met a
missed
lot of
it.
people.
You missed it.
You missed out, Eddie.
You have no
did.
room to
Oh yeah,
talk.
no, I never did it. No, that's fine.
never
Because
did it?
well, here's the
Ah.
reason why I never did it, because I didn't see it. Again, I just didn't see the
Yeah,
longevity of it.
A lot of
It wasn't a long. We didn't see
Yeah.
long term.
And everyone and their mothers, all of a sudden, e-com expert, right?
Right, yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. There's just way too much risk. And literally everyone, like, it was always a hit or miss. Like, your store is dead for the next 6 months, and you can't do shit. You can't
That
do
sucks.
anything,
Yeah.
or there's no inconsistency. I spent $50K and never made my money back. Like, I was
Or if
just.
your money gets
It's
held
just
up.
no. I mean,
It gets
for
held
those
up.
people that found success, awesome. I'm glad for you. It's just not. It was just not something I could park my money at, where I felt consistent. And I was just starting the whole credit stuff too. Like, I've been doing credit for years, but like I did not like really start my company until when COVID was happening around. So I was like, I'm gonna stick to my lane. I'm gonna stick to what I know, and I'm gonna make my fucking money with one product, one thing for right now.
Smart. That's smart.
When did
No,
you
no,
start your
that's good.
credit repair business?
Well, I've been doing credit since 2019, but
So
I
yeah.
started in.
So you started back in the
I
day?
started in 2020.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I started back in the day, bro. I started back in
You
2020.
guys heard it. He started back in the day.
Yeah, but then I did not even start promoting myself until like the end of 2020 and early 2021.
I
What have you been
Okay.
using to
That was
promote?
dope.
Like, Instagram. Like, I didn't
Instagram?
even promote
That's a good
myself
platform.
out there. I just told friends and family, oh, like, you need help with your credit, I'll help you out for like a few bucks. Like, it was the
Your local network.
like
Okay.
yeah, just
Yeah.
that. And that was it. And even when I first started, like it took me until December of 2020 to literally like believe in myself. And I was like, oh shit, I need to start posting this on Instagram, because like, oh my God, I'm seeing results. This is insane, right?
How did it feel whenever you first started seeing like the results? Like,
Yo, dude, yeah, I've talked about this before, and it's such a vital moment in everybody's entrepreneurship journey when they first do their first deal, and then you're like, oh my God, I can do this again, right? I'm pretty sure that's how you felt when you first saw your first house, like how you were doing all these Uber rides and Lyft rides, and then and then finally close your first deal. You're like, holy shit, this is how it feels. This is amazing,
right?
And you're having these exact moments again this week with your Amazon products.
Yeah, dude. So finally, I started into Amazon because now I felt like, okay, this is what Amazon wants. This is clearly what Amazon wants. It's an internal service. I see good results. I see that there's a longevity in doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take part of it, right?
Yeah.
And I have someone I can completely trust in actually managing it, right? So that was the other big thing for me. So, but I remember when I was talking to a lot of the people at 8 Week Mentorship, like Chris, this guy named Chris, the older gentleman. He's married. He has his wife. He does fix and flips too.
Oh yeah.
And then
Chris Sivers.
he was spending like $100K a month, like on drop shipping, and he was doing big fucking numbers. But like again, at one point, Walmart held onto like
That's
$60,000 to $100,000
I feel you.
for like months, and I was like, yeah, not touching that.
Even if you put
that's why I see it.
even if you put like 50-60 grand into something that makes you like 3 to 4% ROI per month, you're still gonna crush it. You know?
Yeah.
Because that, at least you know that you're just like locking in your money, but you're making consistent like interest on it.
Slow and steady is fine, but I feel like if they ever like just hold your funds for 6 months, that whole 50-60K over 3%, I don't think it's
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, no bullshit. One of the homies literally just hit me up yesterday telling me, "Oh, my Amazon store was terminated, and 27K worth of funds are locked up." And
6
that
months.
to me, no, they're not releasing any of it.
It takes 180 days usually.
No.
They're not.
No, it literally said on the email. He sent me a screenshot of the email stating something along the lines of, "What you were doing was not fit for the customers, so we are not releasing your $27,000
Ever.
At all?
ever."
Isn't that illegal?
That's
think that's illegal.
No, that's illegal.
Hey, it's
That's
looking
illegal.
like it's looking like a
Arbitration, sir?
it's looking like an arbitration where we might make a boat. Catch us driving Mustangs. No, it's looking like a good boatload of money right there. So
Yeah, dude.
it's opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, that's fucked
Gotta
up.
look out for them.
So e-com is dead. Then you moved on to your clothing brand.
Oh no, that's actually really fun. So the clothing brand is for fun. I like challenges. I like testing.
What is it?
I like testing out new things. I like challenges. Building a brand is a lot harder than I think reselling items, because you're having to create value through the item.
Correct.
So when you're creating, so basically you're building something from scratch. It's just rolling up your sleeves and just getting things done. Like we're teaching myself like Illustrator, Photoshop, how to design, how to draw, like just add creatives. It's really fun because you learn a lot and you build a lot in a short amount of time. And I'm like, damn, this is like, it's just more of like a fun project for me.
There you go. And
It's
what's
so
the name
fun.
what's the name of your clothing brand?
Oh, Faceless. Yeah, Faceless Limited. But yeah, the brand is pretty much the brand's about like the determined and the focus to just go and just strive towards their goals. It's about a growing community that just keeps looking out for each other, because if you're on the same path, everybody's on the same path, going out there, going out there, grinding, making their dreams come true. It gets difficult, it gets lonely. So it's the community, just to for people to build with each other. That's what it is. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
Recently, the lonely part has gotten to me.
Bro, you're in a squad. Just pull up to the events and stuff.
Dude,
I do go
lonely, dude. Your house is the hub spot where everybody connects to.
Yeah, but not everybody's welcome.
But
true. But everybody is.
no, I mean, it's
everybody
a fun spot. It is true. That's true.
Everybody knows what's up.
That's true. We like making like environments for people to enjoy themselves at, because
Yeah,
this is all we got. We got each other. That's all we got.
I understand. I'll be honest, guys. Recently, it's been lonely. Like it has been lonely, and I think it's kind of crazy because this happens like 2 or 3 times per year. But the thing is, like, this happens right before I know I'm getting ready to level up, because I've obviously gotten super busy. And it's like, I was just telling you guys, this might not make sense to you guys, but my apartment has a relatively big, what do you call that, outdoor room? Balcony.
Patio.
As a relatively big patio.
Okay.
And when I'm super busy, of course, like, I leave the door open, so my puppy's like running in and out. Of course, they're potty trained, so they'll do it outside, right? Like, it's been super clean, right? It's been super clean, which means I've devoted a lot more time to them. I've been showing up to the warehouse. I'm not saying I work, but I show up to the warehouse.
Yeah.
I just receiving a crap ton of pallets, scheduling pallets to go out. I've with the trucks on Turo. I haven't even traveled at all. I haven't taken like a break. I'm not saying I need one. I'm not saying I deserve it either. Again, April 7th, hit rock bottom, recovering, on the road to recovery. But it's like, I really, really do see it. But right now, it's just fucking lonely. It's just lonely.
Just pull it to the house whenever you want to kick it. Just pull it out.
Welcome to the club, Eddie. Welcome to the club.
We're here.
I don't know. Do I sound weak or what?
Yeah.
No, it's
you
fine.
sound like bottom G.
No, it's just when you're going through entrepreneurship, not many people are going to understand what you're going through.
And that's the thing. I can't really devote or spend time with people that aren't there to not necessarily understand my struggle, but what's the word? Suggest different outcomes. Suggest what I do to not necessarily overcome the thing, but like provide different answers. Like, why don't you try this?
Are you looking for like a therapist or?
Hell no, I don't believe in therapy. I'll be the first
to
say it.
Therapy is good. Therapy is not. I think that more people should do therapy.
For you guys.
I think more people should do therapy. It's a green flag if people are,
I think I know if you need therapy, sure. Hey, no judgment here. Like, you should definitely take care of whatever you need to take care of. But we actually talked about this in a previous podcast, because especially coming from immigrant parents, what the fuck are feelings? Like, they would never validate any feelings. So like, we never thought like, oh, I need to talk about my fucking feelings. Now, however, if you need to talk about it, and I always say this too, like, if you need therapy, if you need to talk to someone, definitely talk to someone. Don't hold on to emotions or regrets or anger. And if you need to be able to vent that out, and therapy is the way to do it for you, then go ahead and make that happen. However, I think everybody should be mentally strong enough to self-diagnose themselves, and should become mentally strong enough to say, you know what? Even though I'm going through a rough time, it's okay. Life is gonna get better. We're gonna make it happen. So
I get it. No, that's actually but people that just they need extra help and need someone to talk to, that's what they use friends for. That's what they got. Actually, there's lots of therapeutic ways to release your stress or whatever you got going on. You can go boxing. You can go boxing.
Gym. That's what I do.
Gym.
The very last thing
Definitely.
The thing I love doing best is going to the gym like at midnight.
Okay. Wait, which gym you go to?
Yo, no, gym in the morning, bro.
Undisclosed.
Undisclosed, yeah.
Okay.
Morning gym, bro. It's just what did you say?
Undisclosed.
He's hiding his gym.
Bro, you just post it every single day when you go, bro.
Do I ever tag it?
Dude, it's just on the sign and the name of the gym is just on the wall, on the floor, everywhere.
No, I literally make sure not that it doesn't come out.
Oh wow.
And
okay.
any words, any names, I cover out with like my captions. But it's funny that you tried. It is very funny that you
All right, hey, everybody keep an eye out for anybody's
for my undisclosed gym.
Yep. If they can afford it though, it's quite up there.
Yeah.
It's quite up there. So, but okay, now Howie. So we talked about your past. Where's future Howie headed to? What are the goals?
Lately, I've been chilling, but I still have ideas.
Oh, we know.
I know, I've been chilling, but lately I have the ideas in the back of my mind. I still do marketing deals. I still do a few things here and there. So if I just dabble through life and just enjoy for what it is, Like, cause I did a lot of work and I'm kind of like getting tired. I just want to chill and relax. But in the future, you know, I'll just in the future, I have exits planned. I have raises planned, and I just have more business to do. It's fine as long as there's more things to do. That'll keep life fun. Because I treat it like a video game. I treat life like a video game.
But you only have one life.
Yeah, and then it's a pretty fun game so far. It's pretty dope. I mean, like,
what game is this?
This is life. It's
the game of life. But like, is this like Mario? Is this like chess? Is this all together?
It's similar to chess.
Melee.
Yeah. I can see some chess aspects in it. Because you have to make the right moves. You have to keep on making.
Smash Bros. Bra or what?
There you go.
No,
Mortal Kombat.
It's like an RPG. You go out, you get your coin, you do your conquest, you do your missions, you get your coin, you go back, you level up your weapons, you level up your skill, your character, and you just keep playing.
That's literally what I tell people. I tell people, everybody, that they should believe that they're the main character of a video game, and that they gotta do all these side quests to level up their skills.
Bro, you know what's whack? Imagine like, okay, so imagine these people living their lives as the main character, but if you look back and then some of them are scrolling or just not doing much of their time, like, it's not really fun to watch. If you treat yourself as like, if you know how you die or before you die, you see like your whole life flash before your eyes.
I've never died before.
No, but there's a saying that before you die, your whole life would flash before your eyes.
I would assume so. Like with movies that I've watched, that's just like.
Don't you want to watch a movie? Don't you want
your life?
Don't you want to see a cool ass movie like
ultimately glorified movie? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to see any boring parts. You don't want to see any filler. You want just straight action. Like in the anime, there's these episodes called filler.
Oh my god, I hate them.
Yeah,
I hate them.
You don't want any filler in your life. You want just action.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Do you know what's crazy? Like, and now that you guys like bring that up, I'll go ahead and say it.
What?
So when I'm scrolling on social media, whether it be TikTok or actually it's just Instagram, many and more so, what pisses me off the most is the stupidest caption.
What?
Having fun as an adult, and it's like Homer Simpson in bed sleeping. If sleep to you is fun, we couldn't ever be friends.
You're gonna sleep forever afterwards, anyways.
Dude, it's crazy. I hate sleep so much. I think if I had one superpower,
but not too much.
I always tell people this: if I had to choose, it'll be between two superpowers. Either the ability to read, like at humans, like incredibly speeds, or never to need sleep. To never need sleep. Right? That would be my fucking human power.
That'd be dope.
You're almost there.
That would be
but like at the end of the day, I know. So here's the thing, actually, you guys. So I this year I've committed myself to becoming healthier in every shape, way, and form.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm taking my eating. This is why when you asked me earlier if I was drinking, I said no, I'm not drinking because I want to take my health seriously.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to, dude. One of the hardest things for me actually is not going to the gym consistently, is not eating consistently, not even giving up alcohol. That's not even the hard part. The hard part is sleeping. Like, I get so busy, and my mind, like last night, I was like, okay, my flight's in the morning. I got to go to sleep early, and so I can be rested to do multiple interviews today, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was laying in bed for like 30 minutes. I was like, just go to sleep, asshole. Just go to sleep. Oh, my God, go to sleep, bro. Why can't I go to sleep? It's like, it's too early. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Do you know what's crazy? Yesterday... after going to the gym, and I went to the gym relatively early. I went at 8:49 p.m. On the dot. And so we go to the gym and, just 5 back exercises, whatever. Drive home, and then Jems goes, all right, so what's your plan, yada, 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 correct? And I was like, you know what, honestly, right now, I'm just going to take a shower. I am going to play on my phone for a little bit, and then I'm going to read a little bit and knock out before midnight. I was too alert. I was too awake to go to sleep as I was reading. But the information that I absorbed from the book that I'm reading, I'll go ahead and say what book it is. It isn't anything special. I want to get my private pilot license. I want to get my
dope.
PPL.
That's dope.
By the end of the year, it's one of my biggest goals to getting my PPL. Nice. And it's just a small book. Shout out to Dennis is he from Portland? Yeah. Shout out to Dennis from Portland who so randomly asked me for my address and he sent me a book. I was like, oh my God, he sent me the book. I read 2 chapters, which is not a lot, but I want to say I had some of the best sleep as of recently because my eyeballs weren't fried after going on TikTok for like 2 hours every night. And then I woke up feeling ultimately refreshed. I waited for you guys to arrive and picked you guys up, went to the store, and now we're here, you know. So a lot is going to change for my night routine, you know. Real men read at night. So that says a lot.
That's actually dope. I should read more.
There you go.
Big facts.
Real men read at night. Howie.
By the way, Howie, I really liked how you said, like, don't live your life. It was a filler episode. Then a lot of these people be living their life like if it was Boruto, bro. Like like 80, like entire year and a half of just fillers.
I heard it's 400 episodes and there's only like 3 fights.
No, they have some
ridiculous.
Fights. They have some fights.
Boruto is all right. Yeah. So yeah, you guys. I mean, like, it's definitely live a life that you won't regret. Live a life that you would be excited to tell and be like, fuck, I did everything I ever wanted to do in this life. But awesome, man. Last thing that we got to do with all our podcast guests is plug yourself in. Where do people find you? What are you working on? And how can we bring value back to you since you just gave more than an hour of your time?
Oh, yeah. You guys can just hit me up on Instagram at howard.phan, Phan. I'm working on just a few things. If you want to hit up and show love to the brand, it's Faceless Limited on Instagram. And I just got a Twitter hacked. So if y'all want to report that account and get it taken down, that'd be dope. Yeah, I just got it hacked.
What?
Literally, that's why I've been like stressed.
We love haters.
Bro, but if you can take it down so I can reclaim it later, that'd be dope.
Beautiful.
What's the Twitter handle?
Faceless Limited.
Okay.
Faceless Limited. And I'm glad to be here. I appreciate y'all. This is fun. And this mango moscato is dope. This is the first time I've had this. This is really good.
Nice.
This is really good.
There you go. Well, Howie, I appreciate you coming through, man. Everybody listening, again, every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we'll be dropping these episodes. So peace out, and we'll catch you for the next one. See ya.
Later, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I got y'all. Huh?
Yo, we came into this podcast like literally